I finally caught this Pokemon. I wonder what the Pokedex can tell me about it.
Bonsly, the Bonsly Pokemon.
What about this one?
Starly, the Starling Pokemon. A flying type.
This one?
Rotom, the Pokedex Pokemon. When allowed to speak, it makes up Pokedex entries on the spot, especially in Alola.
The Pokedex. It's taken many different shapes and sizes over the past 20 years, and has only recently been integrated with Rotom. Today, I'll be listing them off, worst to best, by its physical design, UI, and maybe a sprinkle here or there from the anime. Number 13. Hoenn Mark I from Ruby, Sapphire, and Emerald. Physically, the camera is on the case, which you have to flip to the back and lock in, which feels convoluted to me. The UI is the worst. It's slow to react, hard to navigate, and page entries use the dialogue box, which can make for some bad color combinations. Even as a child, I avoided using this Pokedex. Number 12. Ore Mark I from Colosseum. The PDA serves as your Pokenav and Pokedex, but its purpose wasn't to track all the Pokemon, mostly the Shadow Pokemon, making it easier to navigate than Hoenn Mark I, while also being faster and giving the player a list of goals to look at. But its physical design is atrocious. What is it even trying to be? A CD-ROM laptop phone computer headpiece? This thing has so many ambiguous moving parts that it makes it completely unnecessarily complicated. I honestly don't know how you check this thing for emails outside of the bad guy's lab without a proper table to set it on. This isn't the quick access the game implies it to be with this overloaded, bulky design. However, its internal UI is much smoother and easier to use than Hoenn Mark I. Number 11. Johto Mark I from Gold, Silver, and Crystal. Once again, we see the camera on the lid and a locking mechanism that has no reason for being on the device at all. However, it is portable and it looks like it could survive a drop. Yet it has the dark theme UI, which makes it easier to read in the light, especially back in the time, and using green pixels to show all the Pokemon while still falling under its limitations, which was a creative way to spice things up. That resourcefulness and scheme is why I consider it over Hoenn Mark I, though their physical designs both leave me with something to be desired. Number 10. Kanto Mark I from Red, Blue, and Yellow. Its design was simple like a book and had the camera built onto the main body. The UI is very basic, but I felt like it did its job pretty well. Also, it roasted Ash in the anime.
Yeah, but this isn't a forest. It's an open field.
It also comes out into open fields to steal food from stupid travelers.
Doubled as an ID and even had a name. That has to count for bonus points, right? Number 9. Unova Mark I. This physical design is the opposite of numbers 13 through 10. It's too sturdy. It looks like a baton. I'd smack someone with this thing if I was up against the ropes. Its bland grays and long square shape don't really make it look all that special. The UI also fails to use much of the top screen at all, and the saturated grid background also leaves me with more to be desired. Number 8. Kanto Mark II from Fire Red and Leaf Green. Camera loss from dropping aside, the design fits nicer into the hand than Johto Mark I in my opinion, and has a nice beige UI that looks almost like a postcard, which I think Professor Oak would appreciate. And it's also improved the original design by adding the typing to the side. Not the best, but it gets the job done nicely. Number 7. Sinnoh Mark I from Diamond, Pearl, and Platinum. The exterior design of this Pokedex is one of my favorites. The camera's on the back again, however, there's 2 of them for a better scan, and this time the flip plate is as thick as the base plate, and even comes with a Pokeball scanner. Its use in the anime is always satisfying how it sits in the hands, and the world building they made with it using the scanner for registration and array of colors made me really like it. However, its in-game UI falls a bit short. It works, but it's so desaturated, and it's a dictionary design with buttons becoming touchscreen content. The UI is simply forgettable, but at least it had a nice footprint presentation and language integration. Number 6. Hoenn Mark II from Ores. At least I can assure you that the camera is never going to fall off this thing. It's so much of a brick like the Game Boy Advanced was, but its layout is basically the first one without the flip plate. It doesn't have the charm of Sinnoh Mark I, but its internal UI has a really nice font and background, has a color-coded scroll wheel for fast access, making use of the top screen, and that presentation is what put it over the Sinnoh Dex, as much as I love it, for me. Number 5, Alola Mark 1, aka the Rotom Dex. I had to hand it to them. They did their Rotom brush up before designing this thing. It was made to house Rotom, obviously, but when Rotom possesses it, they keep it consistent. The antenna and head bubble appear on the top and bottom respectively. It has truly become a new Rotom form, one of the best designs in Alola. But the UI, once again, is lacking much use on the top. Rather than using what is coming like in Oras, we see the family tree. However, the side navigation is gone, only 6 Pokemon are visible instead of 7, and its background is lackluster. Yet Rotom is the main reason this is number 5. No, not the one in the anime, not just the lore consistency, but the fact that this guy is a legendary in Ultra Sun and Moon. He hijacks banks for you, people's wallets, Pokemon friendliness, your ability to catch Guzzlord. The guy himself replaced all the O powers, allows you to use 2 or more Z moves, and you can even boost all of your stats and max heal. It's almost as if Ultra Necrozma knew this guy was with you. And yes, he is kind of annoying, but that is the true reason he got number 5. Number 4, Galar Mark 1, aka Rotom Phone. Now, unlike the last time, Rotom isn't a key factor in the positioning here. In fact, I forget Rotom even exists in this thing at all. The design of the Pokedex is pretty clean and simple from the inside out. It tells you what Pokemon are nearby you haven't caught yet, gives you the Dex entry on evolution. Yes, the Pokemon professor likes this. And the entries themselves will tell you what kind of variant you have if there is one. I actually found myself checking the Pokedex periodically on my travels through Galar instead of every once in a while, and that really made it float to the top here. However, number 3, Kanto Mark 3 from Let's Go. The UI of this Pokedex is the prettiest, in my opinion. Nice colors, subtle background movement, the displaying of Pokemon is consistent with the box system, so it's already familiar, and was in the running grid format, allowing 24 Pokemon on screen at once, scrolling to the next set in just about a second or 2. It was super robust, and even though I didn't even play Let's Go, I admire it. However, its physical design looks like a Microsoft Surface with really big cables lolling out the bottom. It's okay, but again, it isn't the easiest thing to pull out and learn what you can about Mewtwo before he shoots something at you, which puts it at number 3 instead of number 2. Number 2, Kalos Mark 1 from X and Y. This Pokedex was high-tech, with the display glass doubling as the camera and smooth yet patterned extendable design. I instantly loved this Pokedex. It is my favorite Pokedex. The UI allows the use of the gyroscope, so when you're outside it looks really nice. Besides, this lets you read the information or glance through the Pokedex at the Pokemon in question, which I thought was really cool. In game, the description of a Pokemon is not included in the details section, so reading up on a Pokemon is pretty simple. We see form variation, and the grid system is used as well, displaying 15 Pokemon at a time. The forced pixel overlay was a poor design choice, however, since it blocks seeing everything at full fidelity. The Let's Go UI is nicer, but the possibilities of its physical design are so inspiring that it made it the tiebreaker for me. Number 1, Johto Mark II from Heart Gold and Soul Silver. That's right. Third worst to first. This Pokedex's physical design is decent, working like a touchscreen flip phone with the battery at the bottom. Not the best, but certainly functional, and it looks nice enough. But its UI is by far the best in Pokemon. Not only did it pioneer the grid system, but it also had the best one. You can pull it open by stylus if you so choose, which is nice immersion, but you can also see 15 Pokemon at once clearly, 25 skirting around the Pokemon name. That's the bottom screen alone. The top, you can read its name, description, type, footprint, height, weight, and see what it looks like straight away. That's a lot of clean information. Sure, the background could be nicer, but being white, it blends in, so it still works. On the details page, you can learn where and what time to encounter a Pokemon, a size and height comparison in scale to you, the player. The form section lets you see a comparison between the ones you have seen, including male and female. This section was improved over time, but it's nice to have the comparison. The search function even lets you search by body type in this dex, along with many other search criteria, which made it easy to find something I didn't even know the name of when I was playing Heart Gold for the first time. The efficiency and depth of the Johto Mark II's UI is so amazing that it deserves no place better than number 1. And there is my list of the 13 best Pokedexes. Evaluation complete! It's under discussion in the comments below. I had a lot of fun making this video, and I hope you guys found it enjoyable as well. See you all in another theory! Bye!